Hey, everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Ali, your eccentric slow mad. I am back with you guys with another impromptu live video. And this one is going to stay on my YouTube, but I wanted to I just felt this urge to come on and talk about this life, this non traditional life, and why you should keep going anyway. Excuse me, I almost got like a whole hiccup in there. Why you should keep going anyway. I'm gonna try to leave y'all with four, four tips, four things that you can do to try to stay on target, to keep going, to keep pressing, like just like when you had that job, right? Or if you're at a point where you're ready to not even leave the job, but start figuring out other ways, because most people ask me, and I just don't have a perfect answer for everybody. How do I make money? And that's to me this part, the part where you start figuring out, because you're a lot of times we're not comfortable making these kind of just like, I'm just going to dump and roll, stop, drop and roll, or run, drop and roll, until we at least know that we have something to kind of carry us. And these are some of the things I say, even when you're feeling like, okay, this ain't working, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. Why is it working for everybody else and it ain't working for me, y'all? I don't necessarily say that because that's not just isn't necessarily my nature. But I do say, God, okay, so that must not be it. That must not be it. That must not be it. And I do believe that there are times when we have to be in situations where there is no turning back sometimes. But wouldn't it be nice if it didn't matter? You could turn back, you could do, you've got different options. And you pushed forward because it's what you truly want, right? So, along with, me trying not to glamorize this life that I live, because it really isn't like this huge, like I'm not living in glamour yet. I still budget. I'm still looking for the best financial options and things like that. I wish I didn't have a penny care in the world, dime care, dollar care. I wish I didn't. I wish I could, do the always the middle line thing, no matter where I went, regardless of what their middle line was. I wish I could, but I can't at this point. And I want to just say this, because it's been kind of on my head too, is this, because of how I've always lived and functioned. I've always, and I realized today walking home, y'all, this is the whole thing. And I'm just gonna say this, and then we'll do our we'll do our housekeeping, and that is that I used to always function in scarcity, and not even realizing that, but I'm just kind of flooding my time and my space with methods and options, because even though I know what needs to be done, getting there sometimes is half the battle. Okay, and keeping that strong foot forward sometimes can be half the battle, right? And so before I get into all that, I do a little bit of housekeeping, y'all. You guys know my channel is about my solo travel journey, and really, in short, how to help you guys do the same thing, because so many people want to do that, and so many people are looking for a non-conventional way to start living, because maybe we're at a point where that whole wait for retirement, which who knows what retirement age is going to be, and who knows if there's going to be dollars there. And the truth of the matter is to sit and to bank on, because even I was just like, okay, if I make it like 18 more years, I got, and I'm sitting here going, yeah, but in 18 years, you don't know what's going to be available. You don't know what is this. And even if you make it to that, how long it will be available. What if you want people to live to your 115? And I know people be like, who want to live to their 115? Somebody who's healthy and vibrant. That's who. We ain't got the croak over. Then you see Yoda. Anyway, don't get me started, y'all. But starting to think about what we can do to, get to that point. And I was just like, I'm going to go back, just thinking about the fact that I'm always like, okay, let me hold on to this. Let me like stick this part over here just in case. But one of the major things that I feel like I did, which was 4 years ago, I don't know why this keeps dimming out. But 4 years ago was almost 4 years ago, y'all. I've almost been on this trek for 4 years. Was I willing, excuse me, I shouldn't say willy-nilly, but because I did have a plan. I'd planned on doing this for quite some time, but I basically just hung it up and was like, I'm done. I quit. And what I'm hoping to do, I'm hoping that the things that I share, and I probably should just be more consistent with even sharing the same message over and over, because I need to hear it over and over again. I was, like I said, walking today and this needing to hear this. But 4 years ago, when I just cut cold turkey and was like, okay, I got to find another way, because this happiness for everyone else, until somebody else tells me it's okay for me to be happy and okay for me to live the life that I want to live, as long as I've lived the life that someone else has told me I need to live and should be living, then it's okay for me to reap whatever benefits they feel that they should just bestow on me, if they feel that they should bestow it on me. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. And that just kind of totally goes against who I am. And so, yes, while I have not figured out all the bells and whistles, y'all, because I haven't. And sometimes my brain is just like, what was I supposed to do next? What was I supposed to do next? What was I supposed to do next? Even though that is the truth, I still think that I can share my journey, and not necessarily all the things to do, but maybe some of the things to avoid, step around, be prepared for. When you start your journey, and your journey may not be the same. Your journey may not be like, oh, I want a slow man like Ali. I saw her packing her stuff and all this stuff. She carrying stuff that she ain't even got to use yet, and stuff that she was planning on using if she would have done this, but she didn't do that. And that was 6 months ago. Y'all may not want to do that. You may not have the capacity for that, but you may have the capacity for what I'm going to share today. And I'm like, when I went and I studied Kabbalah, one of the things I love about Kabbalah and actually Buddhism, is the premise of the teaching is take what fits, leave what doesn't, right? And so sometimes there's like teaching, you'll be like, well, that don't apply to me. Okay, well then that message is not for you. Doesn't mean that it's not a good message or that it's not going to reach somebody. It's just not for you. It's not where you are. You're past it, right? So it's fine. So hopefully some of these things will kind of impart and like give you guys a boost. Well, I give myself a boost, right? Because it's a pep talk for me. But just talking about, what can you do to keep moving anyway, even though you're not following tradition, you're stepping outside of what we're taught to do in school, what our parents did, what our grandparents did, what we see every day on even on TV, even when it comes to investing or putting money away, just the way that we think about, putting money and letting money sit for a rainy day, putting money away and letting it sit for 50 years down the road, and not exercising that money in a way that becomes more advantageous for your legacy. I don't know all the answers. I don't have all the answers, but like things are starting to click now. Things are starting to be like, oh, how can I live in a space, in a place of peace and happiness? And fulfillment for me, and also feel like, I'm not leaving a burden for my son. I only have one child, but I have two grandbabies, but not leaving a burden for them. And maybe I don't leave a huge nest egg, but maybe, I impart some wisdom or opportunity, and maybe have the ability to show them the world outside of the way that we know it or knew it or were taught it. And, we start, earthing, just like a new way of life, a new way of thinking. And so I just want to share four things that I think, and I actually have, I think, seven or eight. I have a lot more than that. But we just, on this one, we just gonna share four. Four things that I think, four tips, to remain successful in basically just picking yourself up and remaining in that space of, okay, this is greater than just something I'm doing for the moment. This is not just, for me, it's the travel aspect. It's the slow matting. It's not slow matting forever. Cause I had someone ask me, don't you want to just, I can't do this forever. Like, I can't do what you're doing. And let me preface this. Yeah, I'm glad I said this out loud. I have no desire to live out of a backpack forever. Matter of fact, I was not supposed to be living out of my backpack this trip. It was supposed to be a backpack to get my things here, put in an apartment, and stay for minimum 6 months to a year, because we are allowed that in the country I originally went back to. But boom, it hit me with, ooh, it's not entirely exactly what I'm really looking for energy wise. And so that's why I picked up. And so that is happening right now, because I'm in that seeking energy, soul searching, just like that, that soul tie kind of thing. Like I'm looking for, it doesn't have to have all the things, but it needs to embody like an energy fulfillment where I can accomplish and create those things for me. And each one of us needs something different, but those things that I need for me in order to, be um, prosperous, to grow, to be able to go out and be plentiful, to plant more seeds, and not be like, okay, where am I going next? Where am I going next? Because I'm always going to be like, oh, I want to, oh, I can go over here, but I want to be able to go over there and leave my things here, because I know this is the base, right? And so that's my ultimate goal, is I'm just relocating. That's it, just relocating. And in the interim, also exploring and everything that comes with that, so we can continue on this journey together, right? So four things, and we're gonna jump right in. So you guys feel free to comment. I don't even know if I got comments on or not. Let me see. Yes, yeah, I went back to my hey, L. Oh, you've been on before. Good afternoon. How are you? Just found my comments. Yeah, I haven't used my StreamYard in forever. That's why none of my logos and stuff aren't up. But anyway, I was like, you know what? How come you don't use this? Because you haven't used it in a while, because I stopped doing a lot of live videos. But what's up? Good evening, good afternoon. Glad you're here. So let's talk. And feel free to chime in if any of this resonates. If you guys are ever feeling that you're at like a roadblock, brick wall, speed bump. You're fighting between, should you take the leap, or are you leaping too far? Are you moving too fast? Are you only thinking about yourself? And I want to address that too. There are times when we're worried about being called selfish, or worried about being selfish. And one of the things that I have fought with all of my life was that word, that term being hurled at me, and or feeling some way about wanting for me. And then finally getting to a point where I, and by my own definition, can finally say, okay, now I'm doing that. I'm putting me above, all these other things, and not worrying about how it looks from the outside, right? And I can only say there's levels to that word selfish. And I've talked about this before, and there's this idea that if you're the negative connotation of it, which is you don't care about other people, you don't care about the impact that your behavior or whatever has on other people. We're not talking about that level. We're talking about being not selfless, but being in tune with yourself to the extent of, number one, knowing what it is that you want and not feeling burdened or bad or downtrodden or anything about trying to achieve that. Now I know that has ups and downs, caveats. It could mean the extreme or whatever. I can't cover everything. I'm just talking about the capable minded people who understand this, and everybody has their own interpretation of what's good and what's right and what's wrong and all that. And that's not for me to decide or discuss in this, but really just to impart that sometimes it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to care about what it is that you want. And at the end of the day, we all reap repercussions for our behavior and things that we do. So you deal with who you need to deal with, however you need to deal with it. If you're like, yeah, but what about the people? If you know me, like that's not. We're talking about advancement of fulfilling our purpose. How about that? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about fulfilling the purpose that God created for us, if that's something that you believe. And living in that fulfillment, so that, as for me, I'm sitting and going, wow, I don't want to waste however many years I have not fulfilling and doing what I believe I was put here for, with all of this, you know, um, energy is here for. So anyway, that's my spiel, and I may have jumped around a little bit. Hopefully, y'all stay with me a little bit on that. But so you get what I'm saying is the idea is to enjoy your life while you're living your life, not when you're at a point where your knees are bad, unless you take really good care of yourself. But the route, what they're talking about, our knees gonna be bad. You ain't gonna be able to climb no mountain. You ain't gonna be able to jump on and off boats and you know walk around everywhere and explore and eat everything. Don't you want to do those things while you're young, while you're vibrant, while you know or have an inkling or a feeling of what it is that mm, you're you're supposed to give. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I've always been a giver, so I always feel like there's something else I'm supposed to be doing. Of like, maybe it's applauding other people, maybe it's helping other people along. I've always been an Angie's List. I was an Angie's List before Angie became a list. But that's just something I naturally do and naturally am. So it's like, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And I agree with you. Enjoy your life while you are capable, which is why 2024 is a year of retire. Hey, man, congratulations to you. Yeah, tell us where, how, what. Congratulations. That's major, and it's not about everybody go and quit your job and all that. But I'm gonna tell you this: be prepared, because I don't know if y'all just saw that. Who was it? Google. They've been in this are like just battle in between with different departments and things like that, and some of them unionizing. I know YouTube Music catalog, part of Google, was unionizing. As soon as they unionized, Google fired all of them and just fired some people today while they were like on the floor arguing their case, and they came and said, "Oh, we've all been let go." Listen, you guys, the one thing we have to be is on top of being laid off. be on top of, and sometimes it's not even about having piles of money sitting. Sometimes it's about the mindset of, okay, I'm gonna be all right. And how do we get to the mindset of saying, okay, I'm gonna be all right? Let's do these. Number one, I'm gonna switch these. Y'all don't know what order these are in, but I'm gonna do it like this. Number one, have a vision. This is how you, when things come your way, okay, I'm gonna be all right. You have to have a vision. And how do you have a vision? You believe in yourself. You believe that you're capable of something. You believe that you're here for something greater. You believe that, you know, if you had, you want the people to be like, man, if I had this much time, if I had an extra day, I could. Well, I'm gonna tell you, we're not gonna count the minutes of the day because I'll be wasting a lot of mine, y'all. Okay. But a lot of us have the same amount of time. It's just what we do with it. And it's not so much what we choose to do, it's what we've trained ourselves to do with the amount of time that we have. And a lot of times, what they say on Man on Fire is, are you trained or untrained? And a lot of times I'm untrained and I'm trying to get to train, which is why I said I've been, really inundating, filling my space in my head. So I have my earbud in, with methods, with listening to people talk about things that I already know. But you know how you like, I want to go to sleep with these messages in my head, pinging, 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 because it's not that I don't know it. It's that I've lost sight. I've kind of lost the path that I'm supposed to be on. I ain't on the yellow brick road no more. I'm like in between. So I'm trying to get back. And what that means for me is to get focused. So have a vision of what it is that you want to do. Something I used to say to my brothers all the time, and even to my son, this when they were in high school, my son was in high school and stuff like that, is, what is that you want to do? Don't matter what it is. What is it that you love? What is your passion? What could you do and not get paid for it? But get paid for it. So one of the mistakes I made is loving to do all of these things and never figuring out how to make money from it when I didn't need the money from it. Okay. So have a vision, know what it is, what your greatness is, and don't be afraid to say your greatness, because God gave it to you. Ain't nothing wrong with you proclaiming it. You are not saying that, you are one all be all, like strike your wand or anything like that. You're just saying you are acknowledging the gift that you were given. Right? So, number one, have a vision. Because when you have a vision and all these things start to dissipate or sway or move around and do different things, you start to let it sway and put something else right here. So that vision over here, and boom. So when it hit back, you like, oh, you can only come so far, because now I got a whole space for this vision. And so you start little by little creating more space for who you are and what it is that you are meant to be doing, and pushing out the things that are just what you are doing because someone told you are doing, whether you're good or bad at it. And this is only if you're wanting to move outside of those things. I'm not trying to force anybody to do anything. Why should I want to not? You ain't got to want to do nothing. I'm talking about the people who are already along this path, and you're banging your head every day. You're just like, this is a year of retirement. Like, you're ready to live for you. There's nothing. I don't even want to say it like that. I don't even want to like have the conversation like, oh, there's nothing wrong with wanting to retire. Wait, how do I flip that? There's nothing wrong with wanting to keep your job. That's what I'm going to say, because we've been so programmed to believe the opposite, that it should be, the job. And there's nothing wrong with not wanting a job. No, there's nothing wrong with wanting your job. How about that? Let's make the norm working for ourselves, or figuring out how to manage and live. And you can have your kids, you could be single, you could be solo, you could be whatever it is that you want to be. But figuring out how to do that your way, with all these millions of methods. What's the point of having all of this technology and innovation if we are literally still working the same way we've been working for the last 300 years? For us. I mean, I'm not saying I'm 300. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? What's the point of all this acceleration, all these great things, if We still doing the same thing. We're still dependent on being able to do the same thing. It's like we want growth, but we don't want to grow, and we're stuck. We're stuck here doing the same thing because maybe they want us stuck doing the same thing, which makes it easier for them to lay us off and us to complain about it. I'm just gonna get off track really quick. I was listening to this video and it was related to that whole Google thing and them letting go of people like the minute that they started fighting back and stuff. And they're sitting in a meeting. They just whoever the management, whatever it is, lead says, yeah, we're being let go. Today's our last day. We're gonna wrap up. And somebody chimes in, well, what time can we leave? So they just and then he says, well, we'll discuss that. We'll address that after this meeting. Okay, wait a minute. So what you're saying is as soon as we push back on a huge conglomerate, Google, they fire us after we have been unionized. They still however they did it. I don't know. Y'all go read up on it, right? And then you sit in the meeting. We got to have a meeting. We know we've been let go. And then I ask when I can leave. Okay. All right. We're going to go on to number 2. After you have your vision, have faith. Have faith in, and I'm going to say this. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in yourself that you can actually accomplish that. You can actually do this, that you can actually go outside of the 9 to 5, 8 to 5, 8 to 8, 7 to 7, whatever it is. Whatever it ain't awful. Listen, just click Google. Just click Google, type Google in any search engine, and I'm sure all of the stuff that's been happening today. Well, it's my today. So yeah, you guys, whatever time. I don't know what time it is, y'all. This stuff that's literally just happened, I think Friday, because it's Saturday now, right? So Friday or today. I don't know when this stuff happened. You got fired on a Saturday and you asking when you can leave. That's even more troublesome. But anyway, number 2, have faith. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in what you believe and feel that your strong suits are. And this is going to tie in. Ooh, hold on. Okay, we're going to skip down here and make this. This is going to be one of my 4 today down here because this next one is going to be part of the have faith. Have faith in your abilities, your gifts. This is how you silently through action show God that you're thankful and grateful for what it is that he has bestowed upon you, the gifts that you have been, the abundance. We talk about all the stuff that we're granted. We have all of this and, all of these different things, but we don't believe for it because we don't walk in it, right? I know because I was one of them people until I decided to up and leave my job. And I didn't and still don't really have I don't have a secure path, so to speak. But along the way, I was building the secure path that has allowed me to sustain myself to the point of starting to hack all of these weeds away. And it's a lot, y'all. I didn't realize, like when you're like, this is what I want, I'm gonna do it, right? So I had no problem with that part. I didn't have a problem with that. But it's the turning the vision into action, into something large, into something that is sustainable, that I'm sitting and going, how am I having an entrepreneur mindset and executing an entrepreneur mindset are 2 different things. There are 2 different things. So we talk a good game, but it's hard. It's hard to kind of fend for yourself and not have the pensions. We don't even know if pensions are going to last. So we need to be able to function and understand how we can live without them. Without having a paycheck, without having a severance, without, or have them be able to flow into a point where you continue continue to maintain a steady income, salary stuff. That's fantastic. I went about it the other way, which is something I always seem to do. I'm going about it backwards. I feel like everything I've done in my life is backwards, but I know I'm gonna overcome. I have faith in me. Like I believe. It's like, all right, y'all, I'll tell you this story. So back in the day, I got three brothers, right? And me and two of my brothers are super, super competitive, like super competitive. And they're younger than me. They're 8 and 9 years younger than me. They grown now. They grown now. But and I still be like, I can beat y'all and stuff, right? They're grown men. And while they are in their 40s, I still think I could beat them and stuff, right? Mostly mind games. And even those are like questionable on regular days. But back in the day, it was everything physical. I could beat y'all running, I could beat you at basketball, I could beat you this. Because, I was good like that. Or at least or so I thought. Anyway. Y'all know how to get off track. Anyway, so we were all in Galveston for family Thanksgiving. This is when our tradition was to travel. And as a family, we all went down to Galveston, rented a huge house on the beach and all that. It was cold, y'all. This is the coldest I ain't know at Galveston actually get this cold. Like we was out there like bundled up and not bundled up, not knowing we were supposed to be bundled up, so we was freezing cold. But anyway, we was outside, we was playing football and it was 2-on-2. And we were out there getting it in and all this stuff. And then it was a challenge. My brother was like, we're going back and forth about who's faster. And I'm like, dude, you can't beat me. This is my youngest brother. I'm like, you can't beat me. Like, how you be thinking, like, I honestly still think I can fly. Like, I just whatever. Anyway, it's not like that because I tried the other day and it didn't really work. Like, I don't even know if I got started. But what happened is we got the starting line and we ready to go. And we are like, running. Well, at least I feel like I'm running really fast. And one of the things my brothers have always done is like, I don't know if I start cheating or like I just get that first win. I get out the block quicker. I don't know what it is, y'all, but I don't know. Somehow they like breeze by me. So anyway, something like that happened, but I feel like he cheated, so we're just going to leave it at that. I'm not quite sure who won that. But I was telling my personal trainer about this story and I was like, yeah, I was talking about this and he goes, Ali, what made you think that you could beat your brothers? And I was, I think I stopped talking to him at that point because I was like, the blasphemy. What makes you think I didn't think that I could win? Like, who doesn't think that they could win? Like, so in my mind, like, when I tell you, like, I was floored when he said it because I was like, why wouldn't I think I could win? I still think I won. And I'm being silly on that part, but I'm just saying, like, have faith in you. Have faith in, if don't nobody believe in you besides you, would need to at least be you. Okay. Our point number 3, my tip number 3 is going to be how to like circumvent that. But you have to believe in your strengths and your abilities enough to carry you because there's not always going to be people that are going to be pulling you up. It's not always going to be people who come and kind of, help soothe away your pain and your tears and redirect you and things like that. Like sometimes you got to get up and redirect yourself. When I left my job in 2020 after having worked for 27 years in that field and like still sitting and going, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? Somebody had to do some redirecting and it was me and I didn't know where I was redirecting to. I just knew I was redirecting from. Okay. So that's my tip number 2, have faith. So number 1, have a vision. Number 2, have faith in yourself. Number 3, have great people around you because execution is key, y'all. So this plays in part with, you got faith in yourself, but sometimes you be like, okay, I can't do this. That's who I am. I'm the great people around you. I'm not saying I'm great, but I'm just saying like I'm that motivation. Or not necessarily motivate, inspiration. Because I don't think anybody can motivate you except yourself. But sometimes you need somebody literally physically pick you up, right? But inspiration, somebody that just like makes you go, wow, okay. Boom, I just saw the light in the sky. Boom, I can do this. I can do this. And sometimes it's like, oh, well, if they can do this, I can do this. And sometimes you can't. But to believe that you can is all you need to get up and get moving and get started. And you need great people around you. Let me tell you guys something. Ain't no way in the world you could be successful um, if you're always the person who is, or the only person in your group that is moving in the direction that you're wanting to move in. If you ain't got nobody that you can reach out to, you don't have anybody that you can lean an ear in and say, okay, so what you say, what should we be doing? What's next? If you don't have that, even if it's just one person, that's your first task, is start revamping your circle. That's a part of this process that I have found myself on, is in the last, and part of this 4 years is revamping my circle, or rediscovering, figuring out, finding me, so that I know what the next, like redesigning my puzzle piece, so I know what needs to fit in. Because you have all of these things that you've had before, but was I where I needed to be? And nothing against anybody that I've ever connected with, but sometimes we can't see what we need when we're engulfed and surrounded by so much of what isn't propelling us, what isn't, pushing us to the next thing. And there's nothing right or wrong with it. Everything has a place. And sometimes one of the hardest things for us to do is to compartmentalize, to put things in their place, to go into the kitty's room, our brain, our room, our space, and put things where they belong without feeling bad, because you're cleaning up. We need to clean up. And I needed to clean up. And I'm realizing that I needed to clean up in ways that I think have been harsh, including my Facebook page that I lost. The more and more I think about it, I'm just like, was that divine intervention to lose the page? And it might come back, but maybe I needed that, because I've been thinking about so many facets of it, and how it's not fueling or filling any real purpose. It's kind of just there. I'm not really getting any benefit from it, and it was robust and all this, and I lost some elements of it by losing the page. But in essence, what I have started over, what I have refocused my attention, what I have said, okay, we got to redirect, what I have done it. And maybe, was saying, okay, you taking too long to redirect. We've been in this redirect for too long. You need, here, I'm just going to delete it. I don't know, but that's how I'm going to receive it. That's how I'm going to receive it, because it was in the back of my mind for over a year anyway, probably 2 years, to start all over anyway, right? And so we always need to be in the right circle, whether family, friends, acquaintances, business partners, mentors, whatever it is. Things that we put in our body, whether it's the things that we're listening to, like literally every day when I walk, I put in an audio book. And right now I'm doing one on finance, financial building and different things like that. And I'm real particular about what I listen to, because it's the way the information needs to flow for me to hear it, how it's being shared, and things like that, for me to receive it, right? To get the little pins. And every day I'm like, in the spare time, the time that I'm doing aimless things like walking, which is really good for me, what else could I be doing to sharpen myself, to grow, to kind of build this next kind of group that I need, or get to a point where I fit in with the next group that has the leaders that I need to propel me to the next thing. I know I'm in a place, I know what I need to do, but I have fear in doing it because I don't know how to do it, and I don't have anyone to follow. In my area, like, like I know this is kind of live off the cuff. Like, I know what I'd like to do, but I'm struggling with getting that relationship that I need to be able to express it, without worrying about a person, trying to be, well, the book says this, and, not forthcoming, but, or so in order to do that, I'm realizing, you need to build out who you are. You need to strengthen your base. You need to get on the level that you're trying to assimilate to, basically. And so you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? And you want to make sure that you're not the weakest link and that you're not the strongest link either, right? It's got to be a healthy balance. And I'm learning more and more and more and more and more and more every day. Every day. I don't necessarily have to be in the middle, but I don't want to be at the back unless I'm moving on up, moving on up. That's crazy. And if I'm all the way in the front, then I'm not afraid to jump the bridge, however I need to get over, row my boat over, get on my life jacket and float over, whatever I need, float, whatever I need to do, then to propel myself to the next one, to keep moving, because stagnation is probably the biggest downfall that we have. And stagnation for me was my 27 years in the same field. And it wasn't because I needed to be there 27 years. It's because I got there and I had become complacent. Like, I was like, I'm making good money. I know how I got here. I'm good with it. But in essence, I stopped putting effort. I stopped doing everything, even though I knew. I was like, even though I knew, like, it was just, I don't want to do this forever, right? So take it from me, you guys, if you're feeling that at all, start working on this. Start working on this part of this journey that says, okay, how do I get from living the traditional life to the life that I want to live? And how do I keep doing it even when I'm just like, okay, I ain't turning left, I ain't turning right. I'm just like, you know what? And sometimes it's stop walking long enough to know if you're walking in the right or the wrong direction. Thanks, Elle. This is my great TED Talk. This is my Ali Talk. Yes. Sometimes off the cuff, y'all, like, I literally was just sitting here and I was like, you start jotting things down. It's supposed to be in a blog. And I was like, no, do a live video. What's up, Sandra? Yes. And okay, so since I'm talking about being in the right circle of people, this is literally, I don't know who else is on here, but we just gonna say Elle and Sandra right now, right? Even if this is the circle, right? So Elle is like, she's doing her retirement in 2024. And I'm sure that, the friendships that she has with Sandra and other people who are living this life or starting to live this life is helping with this, the steps of saying, I can do this, right? And Sandra she out living this life. She already got residency in places. She doing this and that. She doing that. I mean, she living all over the world. And it's so neat because, like, I'll be watching different things, different videos of other people's, like maybe even the shorts, because I think I see those first of the shorts, whether it's on Instagram or something like that. And I'll be like, oh my God, like, where you were, Sandra. I was like, oh my God, I remember that street, right? And that's the inspiration that says, how many of those videos did you never post it? Like, because I think I posted like 2 pictures when I was in Malaysia, and I had so much fun. I could talk about Malaysia from another perspective, but yeah, it's one of those things where I'm sitting there going, you just kind of breeze through it, and you didn't put the effort into, what it is that you're wanting to share with people. And all of these little things are like the stepping stones to, okay, but why not? Why didn't I? Was I at a roadblock? Was I lacking the inspiration? What is it that's keeping me from moving forward? I chose not to be in that traditional life, but how am I going to continue in this life that I'm choosing to be in? Are you in KL? Okay. Listen, we got to talk about. I want to hear your unadulterated opinion about KL once you walk them streets a little bit in the evening on Thursday. Just like, we could talk about so much. I'm like, oh, and I got places that you should go that you would love. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, yes. There's a place that there's a place you're a teacher. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, you got to go to this place. It's a library, and when you walk in, it's just a book, a wall of books. There's just books everywhere. You can sit in these nooks and crannies, and they're hot. Anyway, okay, so I'll tell you where it is. I'll have to find it and send it to you. All right. See how I get off track? So that's what you want. The inspiration, that thing that gives you that energy. Like, oh, I needed this, y'all. I need this. Okay, let me get to number 4. Number 4. Ooh, I got so many, but this is the one I'm going to pick for number 4. Number 4 tip, stay curious. Stay curious. Because you got your vision. That's number 1. Number 2 is have faith in yourself. Number 3 is get around the right circle of friends. And number 4, stay curious. Because when you're curious, you're asking questions. You're engulfed in it. You're intrigued by it. You're wanting to explore more. You're like, wow, what can I do? Can I? And it goes beyond the can I. How will I? How am I going to do this part, that part? And sometimes it can be overwhelming. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll be overwhelming myself sometimes, because I'm like, you ever have like I'm looking for the AI that can read my thoughts. Like, I'm not. Don't give it to me yet. I ain't ready for it yet, but I want it, because like my brain be going so fast, and like I have 15 different ideas. Like, I could literally jot out like 5 blogs probably at one time, like within a 8-minute span, because it'll be like, oh, bam, 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 bam. I can't write that fast. And then by the time I try to, focus on one, I don't remember the other 3 things I was going to write about. Yes, Sandra, I will send that to you. You will love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yes, stay curious about life, stay curious about your passion, your dreams, your vision. Stay curious about what that branches off to. Y'all, I give this example. I've talked about this before, and it's the wheel. I don't know what y'all had when y'all was in high school, or Sandra, I can't remember what grade you were teaching, but as we were coming up and we were getting ready to graduate, and we reach out and we talk to our counselor, and our counselors, talking to us about professions and directions that we can go in life based on our interest. And you get that wheel that you spin, and you don't really spin it, but I mean, hell, we probably shouldn't just spin it. Spin it, see what it lands on. But they look at what your skill sets are, and bam. And I don't know what it's called. You probably know what it's called, coming from the teaching field. But it basically says, okay, well, this is what you want to do, but these are the things that you can span off of. That's what we need. We need that wheel, because we've been, speak for me, focus is so stuck in focus areas. Like, okay, I'm going to school to be a psychologist, and I'm going to focus on, for me, I'm going to tell you, I wanted to be in psychology, but I wanted to work with juvenile kids prior to really hitting that teenage. So like anywhere between, I don't know what grouping, what we call it now, adolescent. I don't know what we call it now, but that 9 to 13 age group, I wanted the tough group, like, because I just felt like I connected with them. And I felt like those are the ones that get lost because they're so misunderstood. And I don't know if it's because I resonated with that so much. Even still to this day, I think that's where a big gap is for me in, even as I go through things, and these are some of the things that I've talked about with other people or talked about in other lives and different videos and things like that about, how you start to uncover some of the things that you figure out what's holding you back or what's keeping you from this and that. And you start to you get little glimpses of parts of your life and you start to unpack. And, I went through that phase between 2018, starting in 2018 of going, oh my God, oh my, I'd be sitting there looking and doing something and have this moment, it hit me. And I'm like, oh my God, that's why I feel this way. That's why, different things like that. So starting to unpack. And so much of it goes to around that time frame of my life. And for whatever reason, this is before I even figured this all out, I always wanted to work with kids in that age demographic, specifically girls. Yeah, go figure. It all starts to make sense now. And so anyway, that's what I wanted to do way back in the day. And those things, don't go down that path. Now I went a different path, but let's say I don't end up in, social work or anything like that. They would give you the graph and show you all the different things that you can do. That's what you want now. That's what you want, the great circle of friends, because those circle of friends will have you doing a LL Cool J makes music, he's hard as, whatever. And then the next minute he in the movie, and the next minute he can't get killed in the movie. He the only Black person to make it out of movies alive. You know what I'm saying? We got this kind of stuff, right? We got this kind of juice, because then we realize that we can span into different things, and we can, that we're not stuck in one direction, one area, that one focus, one job title, one whatever that someone has defined for us. We've basically said, I know I'm capable of all these things, and I'm going to put fear aside, open myself up to just hear the endless opportunities. That's where I am right now. So endless opportunities to stay curious. So those are my 4 things that I'm going to share with you guys today. Thank y'all for jumping. My last minute lives, y'all. This is how I swear to God, I'm trying to schedule these. I'm trying to put it on the calendar, but it just doesn't work that way for me just yet. And I know I should, because that would really enhance, people seeing and, having access and knowing what's going on. But I think what I'm going to do is put more of these types of videos here on YouTube, and on my platform, on my Mind Your Body and Soul, is going to be more of my travel stuff. So you'll see snippets of things here in my shorts, but to get the actual travel videos, you just go and subscribe, the little Patreon type subscription to get the videos and things like that. Being open to new paths will help propel your journey. Yes. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. I'm glad somebody was on, and even when you guys jump on afterwards and you share your thoughts, I appreciate that a million times over. Yes, I'm gonna see, and this is what I need. Get back to it. And I'm actually moving again next week. Sandra, I'm gonna be passing in the air. This is gonna be you and me. I don't know where you're going next. Ooh, that lighting. Ooh, hold on. Okay, that was weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, there's the ceiling. You and me are gonna probably be passing in the sky somewhere. Because I don't know how long you said you're staying in KL, but I will be heading. You're headed to Singapore. Okay, all right. Yeah, I ain't coming to Singapore, but I've been there too. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm heading to Turkey. I'm going to Antalya. I'm hoping to stay for 3 months. We get 90 days, so I'm hoping to stay visa free. Not yet, visa free for the 90 days. We don't have to apply for a visa. So I'm hoping to go and get settled, keep this energy. I'm hoping everything feels good and vibrant in that space, and then go from there. So you said you'll be in Singapore for a week. You're in Kuala Lumpur for a week. I did Singapore, I think, for 4 days, something like that. Let me think, because I stayed in two hostels. The first one was no, 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 no. That was the first one. The second was so cute, and I don't do hostels. And this was a mixed hostel, but it was so cute. And I haven't posted. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna post the videos. I'm gonna do a quick edit on some of these, or just like a picture collage kind of thing, so you can kind of see them. Oh, you're doing both for a week. Okay, okay, okay. So I know you got to be going to the I call it the Avatar Park, but it's got a name. It's got a name. I got burned. The Avatar Park with the floating ship in the sky, the hotel thingy. I know I need to. I need Hercules, Hercules. I need to get on it. This is the circle I'm talking about. Make me, because sometimes I'll be like, okay, yeah, I passed it. And I think my personality too, I'm gonna say it, like my Sag personality comes out where if it's not like in that moment, sometimes, like once I miss it, like I'm working on this one video that's like it's gonna go in a whole different area because it's about politics and stuff. So I don't really share it in these same spots. It's probably gonna go on my TikTok, but like it was so prominent at the moment that I was making it, and I just haven't had the energy to go back because the ship has sailed. That's how I am, and I'm like, okay, I need to go back and finish all these things I've started. Yeah, I'm actually stay at that. You were. Oh my God. Okay, so I didn't stay there. I went there for ladies' night. Wednesday nights was ladies' night, so you get free entry, and I think you get your first drink free or something like that. No, we paid like 30, what is equivalent to $30, but the money that you pay goes to whatever you eat or drink. So it's basically they're just assuring that you're going to spend some money when you go up, but it was free entry in terms of getting in, or your first drink is free. I can't remember, but it was Wednesday nights. Listen, oh, you got to get in the pool. I was by the pool. I took a photo. I was like, because I know a girl who lives there. Met her in Hanoi when we was on the boat. Um, so when you was in Halong Bay on the big boat, we were in Ninh Bình on the little boats, going through them little rock formations and stuff. Ended up meeting a girl from Singapore, and when I went to Singapore, ended up linking up with her, and we ended up hanging out one night that I was there. So it was cool. But yeah, I want to know your perception about KL, because KL was supposed to be one of the places that I was going to kind of revert to because we don't need a visa there and it's 90 days. But I was struggling. A little bit because I was like, dang. But I do want to go to Langkawi. I like Penang, and I want to check out Langkawi next time because it's right on the border with Thailand. So, okay, so yeah, we have to touch base after Singapore. What you doing? I don't know if we'll cross paths because I'm hoping to sit down, put my things in a space, and maybe be able to move around from there. Pop back over to Egypt even because I love Hurghada. Maybe want to jump over to Sharm el Sheikh because it's really nice, really warm over there right now, and it's really cheap for me to get there. Love me a boat, big or small. Listen, I was sitting on the bay today at one of the port dock restaurants, and they had no food that I wanted to eat, but all the boats were there, and I was happy as a peach, just sitting. If you guys know, I'm gonna be on the boat. Listen. I saw some people, and they was on a little bitty boat, and I was like, they got to be going to a big boat because I know they're not going all the way on the island in this little dinghy, and they were going to one of the sailboats, and I was like, dang. Wish I was a friend. I learned how to do the small, the small, what you call that thing? I'm gonna learn the right sail, the small sail. It's got another name too. But anyway, I learned how to do that when I was on a friend's boat in Greece, Bali or Philippines. Oh, you're making me jealous. I'm supposed to go back. Well, I was supposed to go to Bali. Philippines is on my list. I have not been yet. I'm hearing that Cebu may be worthy of 90 days. Well, to sit and then maybe move around from there because I love a little bit of rock formation. I'm gonna have to live vicariously through you though because I do need to go and sit down for a minute because I have been moving like hotcakes since I left the States in October after my brother's wedding. And so I kind of want to sit. I've been moving every month, sometimes more than that. Girl, don't say that. Where you gonna be at? How long you gonna be there? Okay, we need to make sure since we ain't on Facebook anymore. Oh yeah, we are. We're on WhatsApp. Well, let's chat. Plus, I wanted to chat with you too about the investing because I have a question that you can steer me in the right direction and probably just help me. I know you can. No, you can. All right, y'all. This has turned into a private 101 conversation, which I love. It is 8:30 p.m. my time. I am West Africa time, y'all. Yes, West Africa time. I'm on one of the 10 islands in Cabo Verde. And Sandra, what time is it where you are? Because you're like ahead of me. It's already like what, at 1 a.m. in the morning? Cebu sounds good, and I love to, yes. Yeah, I need to starting to get my mind right. So maybe getting focused on what I want to do will help me focus in some other areas. No, wait a minute. It's 5 in the morning already. Okay, wait a minute. Well, wait, I gotta do long math. You're that far ahead of me? Does 5 in the morning? So it must be 3 something Dallas time because that's what it says on my laptop because I don't change that. That means you're 5 hours ahead. No, you're even more than that. You're like 8 hours ahead. Hey, what's up, Tony? What up? What up, my friend? Where are you? Dang, Sandra, you're that far? Wait a minute, did you go to sleep? So it's 5:30. You're just getting up. All right, I'm getting ready to go to bed. I'm actually trying to get myself on the right schedule so I can start getting my body back together and all these other things. My friend from the States who's from Cabo, she's coming back home. That's why I'm here. So I'll get to hang out with some family friends for the last week that I'm here. So I look forward to that. And I love seeing people. Sandra, it would be fantastic if we run into each other again. I think our little stint in Chiang Mai was short, very, very short. So we'll definitely have to have another pass-through meeting somewhere. We got maybe even find somewhere cool too. Let's chat because Tony, you in Nairobi? Wait a minute, were you in Nairobi the last time? Can't remember. That's awesome. I'm glad you're still in Africa. I'm close. I'm in Cabo. Cabo, you can just hop on over. I was gonna go to Senegal afterwards, but they make it tough for you out here trying to fly next door. It should have been a really easy flight, but just getting from the island to Senegal or the island to the next island um, was just astronomical. And so I ain't doing it. Get some Calms Forte or Pure Essence Magnesium Plus. What's that for? L, is that to help sleep? Magnesium, because I know magnesium helps you sleep. Well, melatonin does. Sleepy time like tea. Oh, yeah. That's one thing I don't have a problem with is sleep. I'd be knocked out. Although I did just drink some coffee. That was pretty stupid. Um, you know what? Oh, and then one thing I might add to the tea is Sandra, a couple yoga poses to put your hips, which is our center where we hold all of our stress, to sleep, basically. So happy baby is one pose that is really good for that. Child's poses is good if you can take the time, and that kind of helps just release and let everything into the mat. And then laying on your back with your feet straight up. You could do it in your bed or on the wall, preferably in your bed. So all you got to do is roll over. But do with your legs straight up and your back laying down, headphones in, listening to some water or something like that. And maybe have like that type of, there's a couple sound wave audios that I listen to too that are fantastic. So you maybe try those 3 poses or one of those, and along with the tea, and that should help at least relax you. And what it does too, it's a psychological thing, because if you do the happy baby, you're stretching your hips. And when you're doing child's pose, you're actually stretching your hips as well. And so what it does is it makes your muscles kind of tired, which then makes you tired. So, little tidbit. Senegal is nice, but a little expensive. Is Senegal expensive now? Boy, they be killing us. Who is that doing that? Akon. You're welcome, Sandra. Let me know if any of that helps. God, I love talking to y'all. I feel like we all together now. And it's so crazy because we are all in different parts of this world. This goes to show you, if you guys are listening to this, if y'all are watching this in the replay, that distance it's like space, right? It really doesn't have to matter if you don't make it matter. Like, you could still have very good what's the word I'm looking for? Intangible and like explosive, almost like energetic relationships with people that you don't see on a regular basis, but you have things in common and you stay connected, even if it's just through these videos and things like that. Like, Tony, I haven't seen you since I was in Tanzania in 2021. But I mean, you were one of the first ones who came on and did that riveting dating video, and we just met that day. And so I give you kudos. We've been friends ever since. We did that long live video about dating in Tanzania, which was fantastic. So yeah, you just never know who you're going to meet. And maybe I'll come on tomorrow and do my other 4 tips and things that you can do to keep moving forward, keep pressing. Travel community is so essential to my longevity on the road. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, Sandra, in terms of like you getting out, and well, not getting out, but once you left Mexico, I think you were implied, right? Once you left, was it because I feel like Mexico had become home, like that was like your second home for a minute. Was it tough for you to leave Mexico and kind of branch off and start, because you're now on the other side of the world? I mean, kind of technically, you're kind of close if you look to your left, you're closer. But was it tough for you to leave Mexico? Because obviously Mexico's right next to Texas, right next to the states, and everything like that. But now you are like just bouncing around all over Asia and stuff. Um, was it was it hard or easy? I knew I wanted to see it all. See, I mean, and some people say, it's getting started is the tough thing. Like my nephew is out. He's actually in Taiwan, I think, right now. I haven't been except to pass through the airport. Um, I think he's in Taiwan and he went to Thailand. This was his first time, I think, out of the country. And like some people go big or go home. And I am fully expecting him to say, after seeing some of his videos and stuff that he's been posting, fully expecting him to say that he wants to live this life. Like, some people are just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, how you guys do it. I only want to do it for a couple of days. And I'm like, well, and I said, don't be afraid if the travel bug, um, you know, stings you in the butt and says, no, you want to stay a little bit longer. Because sometimes that's how it happens. Like you get out here and you're like, yeah, man, this is cool. And you don't want to go home. Sandra, are you a forever slow man, or are you going to find you a home base? I know you have one, and I'm probably need to sign up for, I don't know what kind of consultation class you get for that, but I need that too. Because that might be the move before November, where you have residency. Get my mind together. But anyway, we can talk offline. We can talk offline. I love it. You belong to the travel streets. Yes. Girl, put that on a shirt. Oh, and I have some new merchandise coming out too, or not new merchandise, but new sayings on some merchandise to you guys. So check it out. It's on my spread shop. It's for guys too, Tony. So you're not gonna be left out in the cold, or anybody else who's watching. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta clean up my kitchen and get ready for bed so that I can get up in the morning. I'm trying to do a tour to get over to this other island. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it on Monday. But I'm trying to get on a better schedule than what I've been on. And I'm thinking I'm gonna come back on tomorrow and do the other 3 or 4. If not tomorrow, the day after. Hold myself to a schedule. So thank you guys for jumping on. I appreciate you guys so much. And if you guys haven't already, click that subscribe button, that like button. You leave me a comment. Let me know if you watch this, if this is helpful or not. And the notification bell so that you get notified when I go live or post a short or another video. And I'm gonna get out of here. You guys know the drill. Toodles and noodles. I wish I could hear everybody go, peace and hair grease. Bye, y'all.